Yeah, I'm Mohammed Sivan Keti. I've been working as a Frappe developer for almost 2 years right now. I've been working with Frappe, Yapinix, and other. We have also dealing custom apps for as the clients require. We have implemented a few sites in Frappe Cloud as soon as it was introduced to us, and I'm personally managing a few sites as well for clients. Open source. The thing is, didn't have any idea of. I have heard about it, of course, since we are Indians. We don't really use paid apps, so I used to use cracked apps as we all do, and then I was introduced to this idea of open source. So that's the only exposure to open source I had before I started as a Flappy developer. So in my company, uh, if you own, it's a short form for everything for everyone. So we believe in basically having all the products that we create to be accessible to everyone. So for me, open sourcing is you're having a huge community, build things for the present future, and as we moving forward. So even though the founders have gone off the projects, it will still live on by itself. With Frappe framework, when I was introduced to it, I just thought it was similar to Django or maybe Flask, etc. Just a tool to maybe create some web applications. But as I started working on it, uh, I realized that the intention of the framework was not to replace Django or Flask, but rather to have a facility so that people who are not really familiar with coding can create sustainable web applications that people can use. So, as I learned more about Yapinx, it was hard to believe that Yapinx was built on Frappe at first because it's really feature intensive. But as I started using it a lot, it's fascinating where we stand as a framework right now. Do you need me to explain one, maybe? Yeah, major one I think was an India like a customer for an India design company. So they basically listed out all their flows, and we had so Yarpenex handled a few of them, namely delivery notes and I think sales orders, a few of them like quality checks, the identification, etc. So they had some lot of flow that was specific to them that we had to create. So name if I have to name one, basically they had. So once the lead is converted to an opportunity, what they do is they make a mock-up design. So what the client needs. So we had to make a thing called design request. So first it'll be mock-up design. So once the customer approves, it becomes a 2D design request. Then it becomes 3D. Yeah. So it was fun using Frappe to build that. Okay. So I don't know if I can comment on it as a career, but when if I ask to first to comment on what framework to choose for building a web application. I think it depends on the use cases, of course, but let's say Frappe has the advantage of being easily manageable once it's built. So, Yapinx or Frappe itself was built by very talented coders at first, but once it's created, a person who does not have too much coding expertise can manage it without having any sort of without having to access the backend or database or anything like that. So I think that's one of the many big point to choose Frappe over others. This was talked during the last Frappe was I think if you remember we are working we in a company if you want is working on a gold manufacturing management system right now. So it's kind of coming into its completion. So we basically studied how the gold industry works. So it's really complex. So yeah, Pinex was a lot of help, but so for example we had to since the transaction mainly happens between gold to gold instead of like a product to cash. We had to develop a new system to basically represent how the purity works. So, for example, we mostly see 916 gold, which is 91.6 purity. But what happens is in gold manufacturing companies, they accept many different purities. So even 100% is or 99, etc., all those purities. So we had to handle a lot of purity. Now the thing is, gold's value changes by the second. So that some transactions will go by the at the second rate, some transaction will go by the board rate which is decided by the system. Even board rate is different for each state in India. It changes. So it was a lot of fun to work on that. So compared to, so for my projects in my engineering degree, I had worked with Flask and Django to implement my web apps. So one of the major things had experienced was setting up the databases and handling the calls and everything. So it's really easy to do that in Trapeze. So even making doc types and making connections. So far, it's been really fun. I have learned a lot of things because of the community. Uh, Speaking as a whole, not just the Frappe framework, the community is really helpful. Even if you're on GitHub, whether it's a Discuss forum, even Telegram, everywhere, I've been getting help. A lot of, and my mentors have been helpful. I have learned a lot, and I believe we are moving in the right direction. Oh, amazing! So this is my first conference with Frappe. Actually, I missed both of them because of some reasons. It was so. I was expecting a usual conference only recently before we set out. Did I realize it's specifically a developer conference? So I was really excited to meet. So I had interacted with people like Hussein and some other people for some debugging and through other workshops and etc. So it was really amazing to interact with them directly. Also see a lot of great minds in around us. For example, I forget the name. Really sorry. The man who built the Frappe Builder site. Yeah, Red Horse one. Yes, yeah. Which so we actually ran it out in company. So we are having a lot of deadlocks, but this guy actually created a lot of features himself. So it was really fascinating to see a lot of people's thought process. So I hope we reach that level someday. So, yes, thank you for conducting this.